My story today concerns a church with a very ancient legacy, in fact allegedly with connections to Satan himself. A church with a very, very weird tower, so strange in fact that there is no other church in this country that shares a similar design. And a church with a very, very controversial family, whose surname was given to the English language to mean something quite unpleasant. And also perhaps a connection to the Irish Revolution in Easter 1916. In the land of Chaucer and Shakespeare stands many medieval churches risen with tall lofty spires or imposingly grand towers hewn from native stone, flint or brick. And from any town or village their presence breaks the dullness of modern compliance to an age where England flourished through profitable commerce and trade, which allowed the rich merchantmen of old to build these amazing edifices in honour of their own mortality perhaps, and the absolute certainty of an eternal resting place to quietly slumber through the ages of time. Such a place is St Mary the Virgin at Burgh St Peter in Norfolk, an imposing structure built of English brick and flint, and dressed with the mellow colours of a neatly trimmed thatch roof, since being built in the years of Chaucer from around 1300 onwards. And huddled around its haunch walls lies centuries of congregation, buried like huddled masses which each period of history represented by fading stones edged with a lifelong past, and as with most churches, an uncertain future as man and nature move forward into a new eon. Standing but a few hundred feet from the River Waveney, it lies almost lost to time on a small plateau, looking out across the valley below, and seemingly away from the mindset of a modern world that has sailed on by. The church was altered and added to during the era of Shakespeare, but lost its original tower around the year 1600. It is believed that an earlier and long-gone church had stood in the village since Saxon times, but no trace of it exists today, other than that recorded to parchment or vellum. And by the time Samuel Boycott became rector of the church in 1764, the church was in much need of renovation, and so he decided to kill two birds with one stone by rebuilding the tower on the base of the earlier one and turning it into a family mausoleum. The names of those interred here and also within the churchyard are carried on brass plaques affixed to the pulpit, which was built by his son William, another rector here, in 1816. The tower, as can be seen, is peculiarly unique and a prime example of Georgian Gothic. The inspiration of its design originally came from William, who saw ziggurat temples in Mesopotamia during his grand tour. The tower is loosely based on this concept and was originally finished with a towering finial, which had all but disappeared by 1920 when this photo was taken. There were no access points to the roof of the tower, and so if a flag being needed to be flown, one of the choir boys would scale the outside of the tower to raise or lower it. It's not known if any died, but I'm fairly certain that there must have been many casualties. In 1841, the Boycotts, who had descended from French Huguenot stock, had decided to change the family name to Boycott, a name which became rather notorious by the end of that century, and also for its use as a new word in the English dictionary.